What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we'll be talking about. Oh, I know, sorry. Today we'll be talking about kind of just our opinions on having children, having a child in this big year, 2026.
Yeah, it's kind of a big topic. There's a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of issues going on in the world. And so a question we always ask ourselves as like two aware people is like, how and why are people still having children in 2026? With all of the issues and troubles that are plaguing humanity, it's just massively surprising to me that people are like willingly choosing to like have children and expand our civilization even more when scientists are actually already saying that we need to like half our population to even sustain our current way of life, which again is not sustainable. So
Right.
yeah, that shouldn't be the goal. But again, yeah, it's just kind of a question we pose and ask ourselves because we're like, why?
Yeah, 100%. Because genuinely, why are we doing that in this big year?
Yeah. And so essentially, we're going to be approaching this
Excuse
topic
me.
of why people are having kids, why people essentially shouldn't be having children in this like day and age. And I think we're going to approach it via a number of different ways, like the political climate, the environment, the cost of raising a kid. We're going to touch on all of those different elements to kind of dive into why it's kind of a crazy decision to have a child in this era.
Yeah,
And
true.
also like I just want to say as well, and it might be kind of a crazy statement, but there's a certain level of selfishness also that comes with becoming a parent in this age. And I say that to say just because, again, look around you. I just think like, why would this be the environment that you are trying to bring a child up in? I mean,
True.
we scientists right now, I mean, I hate to just keep throwing it back on the scientists, but again, things come down to research and data and people who are spending the time looking into these things. We're already experiencing climate catastrophes right now
Hmm.
in 2026.
Yeah. I mean, when are people going to wake up?
I don't
Like,
know.
there
I
needs to be
genuinely don't
some
know.
sort of societal mass awakening of like, oh, we shouldn't
And
be doing this.
and
But it's
yeah, and go ahead. Yeah,
no, I was
yeah.
just going to say it's like almost tradition to have children right now. It's almost
Yeah.
like people are having children just because they're
Yeah.
supposed to have a child. They're
Yeah,
supposed
well,
to be
maybe we should get into
parents.
that. Maybe we should get into like a little bit of the tradition and stuff, because
Mm,
that is such a good point that you make. Like, I feel like as humans, like kids are sponges. They're very impressionable. And I feel like there is this impression that's made from an early age that, yeah, your purpose in life is to reproduce and continue
yeah.
your legacy or your family line or whatever it is. Um,
What?
what?
Why?
What are we, a tribal village? We've advanced beyond that. Like,
Facts.
that isn't your purpose in life. Your purpose in life is not to reproduce. Your purpose in life is to try and find the things that make you happy and do them as much as possible before you expire. That is really your purpose in life. So
Facts.
so I just think like, yeah, so tradition. So talk, what is like the tradition, I guess, that humans typically follow?
I mean, I guess in this day and age, it's really get married, buy a house, have children, do is that what
Yeah,
you're,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
exactly.
mean, just,
And the question that we pose to the people who have that as like their goal in life is like, well, what's next? What do you want to do?
mm-hmm,
Because like, again, once you have that child, your life is no longer about you. So it's just
facts.
like, so what? Like, you bought the house, had the kid, and then your life ends, or I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
basically, I
just
mean, your whole life becomes about your child and what your child's doing. Are they
their
in
needs.
school? Are they playing sports? Obviously, that's when they're getting older, but like
Yeah.
as they're a child, I mean, like a baby, you're having to feed them, change their diapers, be up in all hours with
And that's
them.
the
Like,
easy part.
yeah, that's literally the
That's
easy
the
part.
easy
I
part.
mean,
Yeah, because I mean, once they start talking and talking back and all of that stuff, that's when it gets difficult.
facts.
But yeah, I think to your point, there is a lot of tradition that plays into maybe a little bit of that societal pressure that people feel to reproduce and have children is
Facts.
like, oh, I'm getting older, I'm almost 30, a lot of people are feeling that pressure of like, oh, I have to do this because I'm reaching a certain age.
Right.
And again, like, no, you don't. Our species right now, we are on a extreme accelerated pathway to extinction of our own doing by our own making. And so it's just like, again, baffling to me that people are like bringing kids into this world to suffer along with the rest of us.
Facts.
Like, your child is now going to experience only the hottest summers ever recorded in history. That is the reality.
Yeah, so true. I mean, every year is just getting hotter and hotter. And not only that, there's way more intense weather that's been hitting, and
all over the world.
I mean, we talk about the El Nino right now. Like, that's just the beginning. We're experiencing the very beginning of, I guess, like the worst effects.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We're still been going on
for a long time. Exactly. And so, like, it's crazy to think that in our lifetime, we're going to see more and more extreme weather events. And again, as people continue having kids, like, you're just having more people who are going to experience those things. And again, like, as humans are not actively combating these issues and trying to fight against them and working to fight against climate change collectively as a species, the reality of, or the likelihood of us solving that issue is very low. And so again, we have to think about the long term.
Facts.
What are you doing? It's just suffering for another person. I don't know.
I mean, that's not like suffering in regards to the environment, right? Because we know that everything's just going to keep getting worse and worse because nobody's taking steps. I mean, I can't say nobody. Some countries are doing more than others.
But I should specify, like, we're mainly referencing why have children in the United States. I guess we should have said that earlier, but primarily the United States, because obviously we're the only developed country without healthcare, without all of those sorts of protections for people to start a family. So no maternity or paternity leave, no guaranteed child meals in school, no, all of those things that would make people not happy.
Basic necessities.
Yeah.
So literally, we don't have anything looking positive for climate change. And then also, I mean, think about your day-to-day life. Think about what you do week in and week out every single day. And you want to put that on a child?
Bro, I'm just thinking, last week, you and I, we both had really rough weeks of work.
Yeah.
Can you imagine after our rough days of work, getting home to a crying brat? Oh, man. 13th reason for sure. There's just no way. I just couldn't.
No, I couldn't do it.
Not with the job. I mean, honestly, kudos to the people who are doing it, but you know what? You chose to do that. It was your decision.
Yeah, so, very true.
We are willingly choosing to do the opposite, and it's been fantastic. So. But another thing that I feel like have to talk about is the woman's body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, childbirth is not just a simple process. You are like forever changing the woman's body, right? I mean, childbirth 100%. Is no joke. Child rearing is no joke.
I was gonna say, I mean, pregnancy itself, I mean, you're stretching your entire stomach out, your hips change shape,
your
change
organs.
Position, your organs are pushed around. I mean, your breasts grow. I mean, you grow a bunch of weight, you gain a bunch of weight.
Right.
And I mean, not even to think about, I mean, the ankles get fat.
Living thing is stealing the nutrients from your body.
Yeah, genuinely. Everything that you're eating, I mean, you're eating for two, as they say.
I just think personally there's just too many risks. I mean, obviously I know people are doing it all the time in modern medicine, blah, yada, yada, yada. I just feel like there's too many risks. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to see you struggling with your body and pains and aches and extra weight and cravings and heightened emotions that you can't control. I just it would suck to see you going through that. It would be tough to watch you go through that and deal with that, especially being powerless to change those things because it's happening from a third party, you know? And so, I don't know. I just feel like the risk of, change to your body, just I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth it personally. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally never want to be pregnant, never have wanted to be pregnant. It's just like it is irreversible damage to your body that
Yeah.
you can't get back. I mean, talk about pregnancy, but also actual childbirth. That's a lot. I mean, some women's pelvic floor never goes back to normal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're basically tearing your whole vagina open. I mean, like, it's a lot. And that's
It's
not
a
even to
lot.
think about, like, what's happening inside of you at that
Yeah.
point as well.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like there isn't enough education around these things, right? Like that's the reason there are so many people who are willingly voting against women's access to healthcare, and those sorts of things. It's because they don't actually understand like the body, the woman's body. They just don't get it. So that's the reason people are trying to restrict these things. They think it's going to force women to have more children, but in reality, that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're actually just preventing women from getting necessary health care, which is actually putting more Americans' lives at risk. And again, like as we're talking about the declining birth rate, it speaks, why would anybody want to continue to have children as they are losing autonomy over their own body? Ask yourself that.
So silly.
Why would women in the United States want to continue to have children when they're actively losing the ability to make decisions about their own bodies?
Why would anyone want to
Why
do
would
that?
you do that? If you have to choose between a being living inside you or yourself spending years in jail, like we saw with in Texas and other crazy states with their massively conservative policies, but we see them tracking women around the country using flock cameras because they got an abortion, right? Well, it's just like, do you think that is what is going to make people want to continue to have children?
No.
It's scary. You're creating a very hostile environment as well, in the United States for people to, have those kids.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true. I mean, women are getting arrested for miscarriages. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw that case. I mean, we literally saw in South Carolina, I believe it was, where a woman was used as an incubator for a child who is, I don't know still, but last I saw was still in the NICU.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, the woman, again, that whole situation was so foul.
Yeah, so inhumane.
Yeah,
inhumane
like
for
she
sure.
was in a coma.
Yeah.
And you know what? Anyway, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
whole thing, like, it's just not safe. It's not safe. You, like, your body makes a mistake. Your body doesn't make a mistake, but something happens in your body, you have a miscarriage, you lose your pregnancy, you're at risk of literally going to prison. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
It's insane. Yeah, it's just outrageous, and it just shouldn't be the case. And again, like those are the sorts of things that make people feel unsafe. And again, like to the women out there, to people out there, like choose yourself, choose your own body. Like these sorts of laws shouldn't govern you. The same people who are crying about freedom for the Second Amendment are the same ones trying to tell you what you can and can't do with your body, which is massively ironic. Someone can't tell you what to do with your property, but you can control another person's body. Give me a freaking break. You guys are so hypocritical. It's just not even funny. So yeah. So that's one. Another one is I guess just cost.
Yeah. I mean, think about childbirth in a hospital. It costs up to, if you don't have insurance, and not everybody has insurance that covers childbirth,
Right. Yeah.
So without insurance, it's going to run you 15 to 30K.
Wow.
But
that's for what? Just
in the hospital.
Really?
Giving birth to the child.
Oh, holy crap.
Just one thing, going to the hospital for giving birth. That's not even to include any of the prenatal care, any of that,
all of those appointments and stuff.
All your appointments, all the vitamins and everything that you're buying to prepare for the child.
So you're talking a car, the price of a car, just to get the baby in the door.
Out the door.
In the door of your house. Out the door of the woman, in the door of your house. Oh man, that is hefty.
Yeah.
And there are other reports that say that the average cost to raise a child from birth to the age of 18 is $300,000 from birth to 18. And any parent out there will tell you parenting doesn't end at 18. So $300,000 is honestly on the light end of that spectrum because it's not including the before birth and the after turning 18, aka college expenses, those sorts of things, if the parent is still involved with it. So
Right.
300K.
I know, and I'm like even wondering does that even include anything outside of just like basic necessities and whether or not but
That was just basic stuff. So
basic necessities.
that's like if your kid doesn't play sports. That's if your kid doesn't go to private school. That's if you're any other things.
Well, I mean, I was
Just
with
all
like
those things.
musicians, any
Right,
like
art.
extracurricular activities,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
know, like
include any of that.
those do get to be very expensive. Like when we
Facts.
said sports, we know that's very expensive.
Right.
Any form of art, I mean, paint, that costs a lot. You got to get easels, painting supplies, like
Exactly.
photography, cameras,
Yeah.
like so many
And
different
with sports,
things.
it's equipment and
Yep.
field memberships and all those sorts of things, like club memberships
Yep.
rather. And
Instruments for musicians.
exactly.
And
And in soccer in the United States, football, I played growing up, obviously, and now in 2026, it's costing parents upwards of $20,000 to have their kid at a football club to play soccer.
wow.
It's unbelievable. It's just the cost is massively inflated. And again, it begs the question, where are people getting this money? Because $300,000 puts you in the top 5% of money in the United States in terms of if you were making that amount of money.
Right.
So that means only 5% of Americans, probably less than that, are making the comfortable yearly salary to raise a child from
Wow.
ages 0 to 18. So, that means that most people are going to be trying to make ends meet for the majority of raising their child.
Yes.
They're going to be having to pay for things out of pocket. Obviously, some people are better at budgeting than others, but needless to say, our point is that it is massively expensive. If you think about what you could do with $300,000 over the course of 18 years.
Yeah. I mean,
So much.
So much.
So much.
And that 18 years, so $300,000. So think about that's just around $17,000 per year.
Per year.
Per year.
Wow. 17K on top. And most Americans 60% of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved in a bank account. So, in a savings account rather. So, something isn't adding up for why people are having kids. Like, I feel like, again, it's just another example of like also financial irresponsibility. It's like people are clearly going beyond their means to have children just because, again, they feel like they need to have children or that their life's purpose is to have children.
Right.
That is not true.
Yeah. And I mean, the average salary in the US is $64,000. So think about, I mean, that right there minus the $17,000 per year. We're talking like, what is that? $48,000.
Oh man, and this is all gross. This isn't even like
that's not even including mortgage. That's not even including your car. That's not even including your groceries, your utilities, any of your bills.
Oh no way!
And that's not even thinking about extra things outside of that. If you want
to go
to a
your
dinner,
own
you
life,
want to go on
right?
vacation, you want to go and do anything for fun.
Oh man,
take
wrap
your
it
kids
up.
on a vacation. That's gonna be so. I mean,
it's
wrap. So much money. I mean, we both, our parents do it for our entire lives. We know it's a lot of money because we know that they spend a lot of money on it.
I knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Really. I was like, nah, I ain't doing this.
No.
Imagine that. We were talking about this the other day when I was reminiscing of like my mom taking us to like soccer practice and stuff and thinking about having like a really rough day at work and then watching your kid play like shit on the soccer.
Thinking about how much money you're spending for them to be out on the field and they're just not even taking it seriously.
I know, I'd be mad too, low key. I get it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That shit is hysterical. So yeah, I mean, massive amount of expenses surrounding having a child,
Yeah.
especially in the United States, a country that doesn't have included childcare or subsidized healthcare for all citizens, which would cover the expenses of having a child at a hospital or even the ambulance to get to the hospital. None of those expenses, maternity, paternity leave, none of those things are covered in the United States. So they really don't set young parents up for success. I know there are some politicians like Bernie Sanders who have proposed a billionaire tax, which would propose a 5% tax on billionaires in order to give new families in the United States a couple $1,000s to help jumpstart their child care, with their newborn babies. But obviously, knowing how the billionaires work, that legislation probably won't touch the
It's
table.
only pro-life before the baby's born.
Exactly right. As soon as that baby's done, the Republicans will just kick it
Yep.
as they
Punt it to the curb.
literally don't care, because that's why
Yeah.
they cut all the programs. Which again, they've cut everything from school programs, childcare, SNAP benefits, all of those things which American families utilize to keep their children fed. Have been cut specifically under this administration, again, highlighting that this would be the hardest of hard times ever to have a child, especially with higher grocery taxes, fuel prices high. I mean, come
what
on.
was the median age for new home buyers? Isn't that in like the 40s?
It's 40s.
Yeah, it's in the 40s. So like
Yeah.
young people don't even have houses to raise children in.
Yeah.
So many more people are moving in with their parents.
60% of US Americans under the age of 30 are moved in with a parent. 60%.
60%.
60%.
That says so much.
And
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, boomers, like that generation, maybe the generation also right after boomers,
Yeah.
they were all buying houses in their 20s. Like, they were all buying houses in their 20s.
Back when you can buy a house on a McDonald's salary, right? Back before the inflation kicked in.
Yes.
And now boomers are like, what inflation? I don't see inflation anywhere, no matter where I look. There's no inflation anywhere. And we're just like, are you
Australian?
My bad. The stray bullet.
Stray bullet.
All right, my bad. We don't see no. I don't even know what that was. Nah, but for real, they just don't acknowledge the reality that we are all facing, is that times have changed. You could buy a house on $20K back in the day, and you'd be set for life. You could have one person working and the other person staying at home. That's just not the reality nowadays. Now you need both parents at work in order to fund a life that would sustain a child. And think about that. If both parents are at work working, that is less time you are spending with your child.
Yeah.
So the reality is, without proper systems and programs in place to support parents, they are now spending less time with their children, which will inevitably inhibit the development of that child because they're not getting the necessary energy and attention they need. So that's going to lead to behavioral issues and boom, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Now we've got literacy issue. You know what I'm saying? All the issues just stack on top of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's such a good point. Yeah, and on the point that you had made about being able to buy a house back in the day on $20K.
Yeah.
So $20K, say in 1990, $20K now equates to $51,000.
$20K in 1990 is how much?
It equates, so that today would be worth $51,000.
51K. So boomers, I never want to hear about how expensive things were in your day. Shh. That's not true.
Yeah, crazy.
Because you are not taking into account inflation, and that's the reality.
Yeah.
And on top of that, something on top of the housing thing I was talking about, U.S. home buyership has fallen to its lowest rate in history. We have more sellers in the market than buyers by millions.
Wow.
And with the statistic that Sid just shared about how many Americans under 30 are living at home with parents, those two things go hand in hand. So home buyership is at an all-time low, and young people are not buying homes. It's a knockout.
Genuinely.
People are not going to be able to have children in that environment.
No, because how many people are going to be moving in with their parents, with their partner, and having children in their parents' house?
Don't do that.
Nobody's parents are going to be
Don't
okay
do
with
that.
that. I mean,
Don't do that.
obviously, extenuating circumstances, we understand. But I
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah, I mean,
why
there's
are we?
always an exception to the
Yes.
rule, but generally, don't do that if you can.
No, because your parents are going to be retiring. Just let them be grandparents, you know?
So expenses, economy, kind of home thing, massive reason not to have children.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about like the environmental element with the environment and how we've experienced, again, the hottest temperatures on record. Hottest El Nino event that ever any human will experience. How many species of animals have gone extinct in modern times under humans' current practices?
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things, those are all reasons.
Parks going to be used for drilling, for oil.
Yep, this administration has opened up national parks to get drilled on. Public lands are getting drilled on and destroyed. So we're losing a lot of like the beauty in the world around us as well, all to infrastructure, all for this, you know, productivity and stuff. But it's just like, at what point do we start appreciating the stuff around us? At what point do we progress our, you know, processes as humans?
Facts.
It's kind of unacceptable and extremely short-sighted how many people like can't see beyond their short-term profits.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I feel like there's a lot of very short-term sighted people right now because it's all about greed. It's all about being money hungry. People don't really care about other people, especially in the billionaire class and everything. So it's like, yeah, people, I mean, again, wake up. Like, now's just not the time to be having kids because...
And I'm glad you brought up the billionaires, because let's all just be realistic about it. We are all just the subservient class to the few billionaires that exist on our planet. We are all generating wealth with our time and energy, and they are extracting it from us through wage theft and stealing our extra energy and time and using it for themselves. So that's how the billionaires, all those yachts you see, all those jets, all those fancy cars, they're spending time on those things, and it's our time that they're spending out there. Our stolen time, our stolen money is what they are spending their time doing. So again, when you have a child, you're really just making another worker for Jeff Bezos and for Elon Musk and for all the rest of the billionaires. They're happy when you do that. They love that because they know they've secured a new worker in the future.
So
that's just the reality. We're all just feeding into the system. And until we can fight back against unchecked capitalism, fight back against our billionaire ruling class, fight back against the people who control the means of production, the reality is life is going to be shitty for all of us while we continue to allow a few people soak in the wealth. So that's like another big thing. You know, just think about what the future of your kid is going to be. You know, does future, you know, NASA space pilot, is that realistic, or are you looking at another office worker who's going to be 9 to 5 typing on their computer just like you for the rest of their life, wanting to bang their head against the wall? Which one's more likely?
Odds are pretty stacked against them.
I mean, which one's more likely? You're going to be talking about your kid about a 401k when they're like 10 years old, and as if that's some exciting shit for them to be looking forward to in their life?
No.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, and let's talk about the responsibility aspect of having a child.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what do you mean? I mean, your whole life, you're sacrificing your whole life, first of all. Yeah. You're dedicating every second of every day for the literal rest of your life, pretty much, to whatever comes out of it.
That sounds like a prison sentence to me.
Just like corporate work.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean, you know,
prison takes on various
forms for sure. But yeah, I mean, just thinking about like the idea of raising a child, being responsible for educating your child on so many different things, and like sending them to school, figuring out what school they're going to go to, if they're going to go to private school, if they need to, you know, go, if your child is special needs, you need to figure out what care they need, how you're going to manage that, and like especially going to school, are you going to get a caretaker and everything like that. So like as you're raising a child, there's so many different aspects that come into play, like that you just
I
can't
know.
even.
How do you, when are you going to expose them to the realities of the world? When do you tell them about the bad people, about the disease? When do you tell them why they're not seeing grandpa anymore? When do you tell them about the dog passing away? You know, like when do you start opening up the eyes of your child to the real world? You know, people are so concerned about, oh, I don't want my kid to see two men kissing. Okay, well, what about your kid seeing bombs dropped on children their same age? What about that?
School
Are you concerned
shootings.
about the bombs dropping on schools? Does that also worry you just as much as the homosexuality, or are you just covering a blind eye? You know,
So true.
school shooting,
Yeah,
yeah,
school shootings too, same difference. Not same difference, obviously, it's
no, but
different, but same kind of idea, just with
yep.
regards to watching other children their same age being murdered in cold blood for nothing.
Right. And I mean, where are all the parents out there marching to make sure there's gun reform so that their child's school is not the next one up? Where are they? Why is it not a constant thing that is happening until change is made? And it's not happening. And yet again, people are continuing to have kids, which are going to continue to go into those schools, which are continue to be unprotected because we still, since Sandy Hook, 2 decades later, not updated our gun laws. So why would you have a kid and send
Yeah,
them to a school in the United States, knowing what you know?
makes no sense. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense
I
to me.
mean, it
It's
is a controversial topic right now in politics for people, for our tax dollars to fund children's school lunches. Think about that. There are people who are opposed in our country, in the United States, from us using our tax dollars to give children free lunch at school, underprivileged children free lunch at school. That is
how
how is that
how is
controversial?
that
And those
controversial?
same people are trying to take away access to abortion and other healthcare to try and force people to have children. And then they are turning around and taking away the funding and not allowing funding to be used to feed children in schools.
Yeah, they're only pro-life before birth. That's really it.
Oh man, I mean, it's just like these are real issues. How, again, I really want to understand how people are turning around and saying, you know what, this looks like a great condition to have a kid in. I don't mind that it costs more than ever at the gas tank, more than ever at the grocery tank. I can't afford a house. It's hot as hell in the summer. The polar ice caps are burning down. The hurricane season is crazy. We've got drought every other week. You know what? It's perfect time. Let me have another kid. I want to take up more resources on the earth, which is already burning down before me. Like, are you insane? Do you hear yourself? You sound insane, mate.
Facts.
My God,
Genuinely
it's
though.
so selfish. That's all. It is so selfish. I'm actually starting to get annoyed now. It is so selfish to continue to have kids while we have so many issues on our planet that are not being solved and addressed, which are quite literally shortening the lifespan of our species. And you people are still having children. It is irresponsible and selfish. And you are expediting the end of our species. So, congratulations, you selfish prick, because your child, more resources are going to be used, more microplastics, more oil, more energy, more everything. You're taking up more than what you should be doing when we are experiencing such extreme events.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
it's
reality.
true.
It's selfish.
Yeah, it is selfish. It is selfish. And I mean, we know that there's limited resources on this planet. It's not like,
There shouldn't be, but there is because of the billionaires, which is a whole other thing. Go watch our video on why billionaires should not exist.
yes, facts, facts. Do it.
Because
Yeah,
that's a whole other can of worms that we could get into. That could be
facts.
20-part series of why billionaires should not
I
exist.
know, yeah,
But
so true.
that is why there isn't enough to go around. There is enough to go around if billionaires didn't exist.
Facts. Okay. Love that. Asterisks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
no.
isn't right now in our current model.
So the answer is billionaires need to go away.
If people, I mean, think about it. Animals in captivity don't be reproducing. So humans, we are in captivity to the billionaires. We are their captives.
Facts.
We work for them. They steal from us. That is how captivity
That's how it
works. So
Mhm.
that's why our birth rates are declining. So to everyone out there who is participating in helping the human race birth rates decline, bravo, you deserve it. Kudos to you. We're
you.
happy contributors as well, and
Yeah.
my hat goes out to you. Keep it up. To the next generations, do not have kids.
Facts.
Not until we figure out the shit that's going on right now. Climate change. Until we're like 100% renewable clean energy, don't even bother. I mean, look, your kid probably won't even make it to adulthood anyway. Why would you want to experience that?
Facts.
I just don't understand
I
that.
don't know.
It's like your kid can't even run around in the summertime. I mean,
no, it's
you can't even go outside.
Are you kidding me? It was like 93 degrees at 6 p.m.
We used to be outside at those times.
Yeah.
Like normal humans, we used to exist in the heat and do stuff still. You can't do that anymore. It's literally unsafe.
Yeah, it's not the same.
There are heat advisories every day. I mean, it's not normal, guys.
Scattered thunderstorms.
It's not
like
normal.
Crazy.
It's not normal. But hey, man, if the people who are having kids, you guys are delusional.
Facts.
Go ahead and have that delusion. Oh, we'll figure it out. Yeah, our species will figure it out. Yeah, at the cost of what? 1 billion people? You could be included in that.
Facts.
Like
no,
that is the part that people don't think about. There is no human loss of life that is worth it. You know what I'm saying? We could stop having new humans to save the existing human lives, correct our trajectory, and then begin expanding our species again. That would be the right thing to do. That would be the long-term thing to do, because otherwise our species ends as we know it. Few sporadic humans will survive and start our species over, which has probably already happened a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a catastrophe.
Yeah, and maybe it should.
So yeah, I mean, that's true. I'd love a reason not to show up on Mondays. That's for damn sure.
I
know. But yeah, so anything else? Any other thoughts?
I know.
There could always be more, honestly. Yeah.
Like 70 things. So
yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about the environmental factors and climate change and why, you really shouldn't do it, mainly because of the fact that our climate is degrading faster than we're making changes. So our species, longevity is not guaranteed. And I think that's what a lot of humans forget.
Facts.
Another thing we talked about was...
I mean, just like the financial aspect of raising a child.
Yeah,
Genuinely
massive.
So expensive.
Massive, yeah. Unless you got that $300K saved or a trust fund baby, or you really think you getting that promotion. I don't know. 300K is a lot.
Facts, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money.
And that's without sports. That's without art. That's without music. That's if your kid just goes to school and does nothing else. So that's very unlikely.
And that's not including your own expenses.
Yeah, because you got to try and keep living your own life. But that's not going to happen.
No, not at all.
Another thing we talked about was tradition, right? Like just human tradition, right? We don't have to breed. A lot of other animals, it is wired in their brain, breed, reproduce. Yes, if you ask a bird what their life purpose is, it's going to say to reproduce. But again, we've evolved beyond that. We have sentient thought. We have free will. You don't have to do exactly what your parents did. You can live your own life. You can have your own experiences, live for yourself. They might call you selfish, but who gives a shit? Having a kid is selfish too. So everybody's selfish. So be selfish and live your own life. Break tradition.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, because one of the, I don't know if this was the last thing we talked about a lot of things, but just like the responsibility of having a child and raising a child, of like putting that on yourself. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. So, when we talk about like mental health, anxiety, depression, like a lot of those things are real for parents. You don't get that time for yourself to focus on your self-care and your activities and the things you like to do. So you kind of lose yourself in parenthood. And that's, it's risky. It's important to maintain your personhood. And that's all obviously obviously a risk when you're living for another person.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Trying to think. Climate, sport. No, I mean, I feel like we did a good little basis for a first one. Yeah. Oh, we talked about like the women's body.
Oh,
Yes, just like the
briefly, yeah.
irreparable damage to the woman's body.
Facts.
That you know, why do that to yourself? I mean, I know people do it again, but that's because your brain is tricking you with chemicals.
Facts. Yeah, 100% is.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that was all. So yeah. So those are some reasons as to why we feel like it is a bit crazy to be having kids in big 2026
Facts.
with everything going on in the world. We didn't even talk about war or anything like that. But yeah, there's so many reasons, so a plethora of reasons not to have children. At the end of the day, our species, we've got a lot to figure out.
Facts.
We've got this climate issue, which is really the number one thing that we have to sort out before it's too late. So yeah, it's a bit irresponsible to be having children while all of our lives are realistically in danger by extreme weather events. They're happening every day. People have died in earthquakes in Venezuela. We've seen fires in Belgium. We've seen fires in Canada, seen fires in the United States. We've seen the hottest summer on record in the United States in July.
Mhm.
August has seen the hottest temperatures across Europe in history. This is not normal. We cannot normalize these extreme weather events. It is not sustainable for our species, for our planet. And so that is why we largely feel like you shouldn't have kids right now.
Facts. Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's, yeah, literally. So if you made it this far,
Thanks for watching.
and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.